5-time Pro Bowler and spectacular Cal Bear for the New Orleans Saints back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Appreciate you for having me on the show.
You got it. What do you think of the 3 seed, Cameron, when it's all said and done?
Hey, it gives us a chance to make a run at the championship. It's exactly what we want. So when you talk about what we have in our minds, what we have in, our focus on locker room, I mean, clearly we wanted a bye and have the ability to have home field advantage. But at the end of the day, we know exactly what we have in our 53-man roster. We have the ability to put together a stretch of wins together and, come out at 13-3. So we know we can play anywhere and beat anybody.
No, I know you can only control what you can control type of mentality here. But were you watching Sunday Night Football rooting for Russell Wilson? Were you doing that?
I don't know about rooting for Russell Wilson, but I was, looking for the demise of the Niners.
I love it. You can't even bring yourself to say that you were hoping for Seattle to win. You can't even say the words, Cameron. I love it.
I was rooting for Marshawn Lynch, go Bears.
Oh, there you go. How about that too, right? I mean, he looked like he had a quick first step on occasion, right?
No doubt. Fresh legs, and I mean, he came in focused.
I love it.
He clearly had him on the one, and that was a touchdown. He jumped over the pile, and then
that was great.
Heck, when they went back to fourth quarter, a couple seconds left or a couple minutes left, whatever it was, a couple seconds. You're on the one again. I'm like, yo, just give it to Marshawn, and then they get a delay of game. And you're just sitting there like, come on, do better.
Where have I found you, Cameron? Where are you calling from? Paint the picture for me here.
Well, it's an off day.
Yep.
But with the
you're with the kids?
The game coming up Sunday. Oh no, we're in the training room.
Oh.
We're getting active rehab right now.
Okay, so you're in the training room, but who else is around there? Can you tell me, or that's telling too many tales out of school?
Yep. And I would say in the training room,
yep,
everybody that needs to be here is here.
Okay, very good. What challenges do these Vikings present to you, sir?
You know the running game. They're there to stretch the field and really open up the passing lanes through the ground attack. We just got done watching film on the Seattle game, the Green Bay game, and this last game, this Bears game. And you look at it, and you know their running game. You know who they have at wide receiver. You're already aware of what Cousins is capable of doing once he gets his confidence built up early. And I think they do a great job of doing that.
Mm-hmm. And the issue of knowing what type of Dalvin Cook you're going to get. What do you think on that front?
The issue of knowing what Kirk Cousins you're going to get.
What do you mean by that, Cameron?
At times, he looks to be a very proficient quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And at other times, maybe not so much. Is that what you're saying?
I'm going to stick to the first statement.
Oh man, you are one of a kind, sir. So the defensive line, there's been obviously a lot of injuries on that front for you, and you mentioned the training room. What is the current status for you and your line mates going into this weekend? Best you can reveal and tell me here.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of games, you've seen what our D line has been able to do. We've still been able to get after the pass rusher, get after the quarterback. Trey Henderson has seamlessly transitioned into a starter. And I think he's been rushing really well. He's probably got more pressures than, sacks, and he's still irritated about. But at the end of the day, you love to see the way he's rushing off that edge. There's not really a drop-off. And you talk about what Mario Edwards has been capable of doing in terms of rotating in and playing. It's just this entire season, he's just been growing and maturing. So you're seeing, the culmination of these two players really fill in that opposite end role.
Well, you also lost Rankins and Davenport in that 49ers game that left the 49ers also for the next week when they were playing Atlanta without 7 defensive starters. What in the world was going on in that game in terms of the physical nature? Where does that rank for you in that game, Cameron?
Yeah, I mean, it's up there. You talk about the toll it took on both teams. And at the end of the day, that was games ago. I almost can't even say like exactly what happened. We do know that, the next game we were down a DB. Then the next game we were down another DB, and yet we're still finding ways to win. So you know what it is. It's the NFL season. It's 16 games, and you have to have that next man up mentality.
Well, I mean, Cameron Jordan here for the New Orleans Saints on the Rich Eisen show. Nobody and no team really can state that with such confidence like the Saints and you with Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, the fact that you have 13 wins going into this weekend, 5 of them were when Brees went down. I'm wondering if what you could state about the importance of what Teddy did for your team as you move forward here.
Yeah, I mean, he sort of got thrown into the mix in that Rams game early on. But then, of course, that next week, you bounce back in Seattle. We go to Seattle immediately from L.A. to Seattle, and we bond as a team. We bring it, that closeness, that close, tight-knit feel of a brotherhood, and, put our backs against the wall and just realize, we're all we got. And nobody really cares about, if one of our best players goes down, one of our leaders goes down. It's all about, the wins at the end of the day. And you got Teddy who came in, formed into his game plan and really took over at helm and we made a heck of a run. Then Drew comes back, of course, and everything as it is. We sit at 13-3. So what Teddy did was be an ultimate pro. Know exactly what we have. It's not like, we had somebody who wasn't reliable. This is, Teddy Bridgewater, somebody who had been a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback.
And then obviously,
so you see what he,
you
see what he does.
You see what he does, and then you've got your GOAT. Did you notice the NFL 100 all-time quarterbacks list there in New Orleans, Cameron?
I think I was it brought to my attention like 2 days ago after the game, and they said it was like Aaron Rodgers was left off and Drew Brees was left off. And he just sit there. He's like, all right, well, they have to put a couple of these older quarterbacks up there, but I don't grasp the concept of how you leave off one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time on a top 10 list. I mean, it goes without saying that a guy like Drew Brees and all the records that he holds, all the records that he's broken, is not clearly a top 3 quarterback of all time.
Well,
in my mind, it goes Drew, Peyton, Tom. Drew, Tom, Peyton. Drew, yeah, it doesn't really matter the top 3 order, but that's just what it is.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, do you watch the offense sometimes? Do you just sometimes just take?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, what's more exciting than after you have a quick 3 and out, or a forced fumble, and you see your offense go to work and do a quick strike, put points up the board. I mean, nothing's more fun than watching Drew Brees take the field and be able to sling the rock to Mike Thomas, be able to sling it to Jared Cook, be able to hand it off to AK or Latavius, and watch how productive the offense goes. In terms of what our offensive line has been capable of doing to other teams, systematically shutting down top-tier pass rushers from J.J. Watt to Shaq Barrett to Chandler Jones, whoever it is, and not only that, but push the running back presence. It's overly exciting to watch.
I had Mike Thomas on a couple weeks ago, Cameron, and in the same way that you couldn't bring yourself to talk well of an opponent in a way, or admit anything. For me as a Michigan Wolverine, it's not easy, but I place it aside because I'm a lead pipe wielding professional. I love the kid. I love his attitude. I love everything about him, the way he goes about his business, the way he wants to be better, and how amazing he is, and how his Twitter handle is Can't Guard Mike, and you can't. I'm wondering what it's like watching him work as a teammate for you.
I mean, I say it all the time. Can't guard Mike. You come in as a rookie and your Twitter handle is Can't Guard Mike. That's something usually you're going to get roasted on, made fun of. But he came in from day one and lived up to expectations. So, I mean, we've watched his work ethic. We've watched his demeanor and how he feels like he's always had a chip on his shoulder. Getting drafted in the second round out of Ohio State, I guess that's a chip. But
yeah.
But the way that he attacks practice is the way you see him run his routes in a game. I mean, he's got that same intensity. He's got that same demeanor every route that he runs.
Last one for you, Cameron. You know, obviously, I know it's a sore subject, but you know it's coming. I'm sure it's already been asked of you. Or if it hasn't, mine might be the first. It's obviously the manner in which the Saints lost the last playoff game with the Vikings. Is that at all in your minds about trying to erase it with a W in front of your home fans and bounce this team and take care of business
No.
emphatically?
I don't think so. I mean, I know the last time we played the Vikings, we won. I know the last time, we lost in a playoff against the Vikings. That was, like 3 quarterbacks ago or 4 quarterbacks ago at this point? That was a season where they played 3 or 4 different quarterbacks and had success with them all, or 3 or 4 different running backs and had success. They're all elsewhere, or, I think maybe Dalvin might have been injured at the time. That was an entirely different team. That was a team that was primarily boosted by Adam Thielen and their defense. You didn't know too much about Stephon Diggs at the time. Now, we're a defense that's grown from that. We felt that was 3 years ago. We had a DB core that was all rookies almost. We had all rookies in a second year. And so now we come in and our defense has grown so much. Whoever's in front of us, it doesn't matter. So now I'm unaffected by the last time we played Minnesota, if that was the actual question.
Okay. Cameron, you take care of yourself. I really appreciate the time calling in from the training room. Best to you and yours on a Happy New Year. And I hope you
I appreciate
be checking you out.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this cold tub action, but whatever works for the playoffs.
Okay.
Playoffs.
There you go. You're in the playoffs. Thanks for the call, Cameron. You take care.
Yep, have a blessed one.
You bet.
Happy
Same
New
to
Year.
you. At Cam Jordan 94.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download The Rich Eisen Show app.